Welcome, fellow masters. My name is Musaki from the Chaldea Gurus, and it's time for another episode of Clairvoyance EX. This episode of Clairvoyance EX will be going over the month of September, and a couple of things that happened a little bit earlier than expected, but I surmise that this month will be pretty straightforward once we get into it. So, with this intro out of the way, let's just jump into it. The very first thing we're going to go over is a discrepancy. For the most part, it seems that September 5th to September 19th, originally in the JP's timeline, that is when we had Fate Excel Zero Order Lab 2 event happening. But if you're watching this, then you already know that currently in FGO NA, that the Fate Zero event is happening right now. That's right, currently. It starts on August 31st, that this event will last for 2 weeks. So that's the first discrepancy, that we're already entering in September with this event going on. And we've already had a video going over that, plus we even have a guide out to go along with it. So if you want to go ahead and see exactly how to get through this event or the news surrounding the event, go ahead and click the links down below. You'll see both of those videos in the description. Next up, as you might see here, we have two interesting campaigns here. The FGO Arcade Craft Essence Part 2 and the Kyoto Manga Anime Festival 2018. So, the very interesting thing with these two events is that more than likely, we won't get them. I'm going to be completely honest with you. So far, there has been no reports that we will be getting FGO Arcade stateside, so at this point, don't think we're gonna get this craft. In fact, it is location based, as you can see here, which if you played JP before, there was no way for you to actually get this. It's impossible unless you were actually in Japan. So don't expect to be getting this craft essence. Even though the art looks pretty cool, don't expect to get this craft essence. The same thing can be said for this fantastic Shuten and Raiko banner. I mean, because not only does it have Shuten and Raiko, but it also have Okada Izo, who is, let me remind you, a 3-star limited assassin, and Yagyu Minori, a story-locked saber, both of which are very good service to have. And on top of that, there is also a Shuten strengthening quest tied to this, which upgrades her noble phantasm. So very interestingly, I am not sure what they're gonna do with this. This seems like the perfect scenario for them to do something like this. They could even try to mask this as some sort of download campaign, or they could probably try to sneak in some sort of quality of life a little bit early. But I am not 100% sure where we will get this. We did not get it last year, which is the biggest indicator that we might not get it this year. So just trying to level some expectations here, that if you're counting on this banner, you might want to save the expectations a little bit, temper them a little bit, because we have other things in store for this month. The last thing of October is going to be fairly big, I do believe, and that is the Battle in New York, or as we call it in JP, GILFEST. That's right, Gilgamesh is taking over New York City! Wow, took him long enough, I guess. But yes, he's taking over the event and taking over Nero's tournament spot. Nero, as you will see, is not too happy with the results. So, just a little bit, it's very similar to Nero Fest in almost every way. It will be a tournament style type event that will have your normal, regular Kree quest that you farm infinitely for certain items, and then a separate side, the exhibition quest, the challenge quest. These are the things that, for the challenger in all of us, can definitely attempt to try, and this year they pull no bunches. Before, we already had some very interesting, very unique mechanics. This year, they go all in. So if you guys want to see a challenge quest video, me and Tristan will do our very best to put together a video that will help you get through these challenge quests. How about this? Let's get this video to 1,000 likes. If we can do that, then we'll make the challenge quest video. Our fate is in your hand. Regardless, it's going to go through a bit of a schedule here. As you can see here, the original timeline, we had about 4 to 5 days for the preliminaries, about 4 to 5 days for the semifinals, and finally we had a little bit extra time, about a week or so, for the finals. The same thing as well, the exhibition quest comes out on a set schedule also, and once they release, they are there throughout the entirety of the event, so you won't have to sit there and grind every single one of them every single day, or you can sit here and just wait them all out and just do them at the end for some sort of fantastic stream of some sort, if you're interested in that, of course. And now you might notice here that I'm going over here that the party setup copy, the present box filter, we've already actually received these things, if I recall correctly. Present box filter, I don't think we have yet, but we might. So some of these things don't exactly apply, but just know that they actually added these things to the event. We also have here our event craft essences, which will help us during this event if you absolutely need it, but you definitely will. So return to match is going to be the craft essence that you see here with the lovely Nero art, and you'll also be getting that in the lottery boxes as the jackpot for the first 5 boxes. It grants self-gut status, 1-time revive 1 HP, and critical damage plus 15%, but the most important thing for the event is that it gives 100% damage bonus during the event. If you max limit break it, that's 200%. So that's going to be very, very good and very important, especially for challenge quests, which are kind of neat those. CKT is the 5-star event craft essence that also increases lottery drops. That's very good. On top of that, it does increase quick and arch performance by 10% and MP damage by 10%, which is not for nothing. That is pretty good. So if your main thing is trying to farm the lottery, which is what I'm going to be doing, definitely get that craft essence. It will more than likely be in the event shop. And then of course you got craft essence XP card, $cent shop, probably gonna be under a different name, but the event XP craft essence, that's 30,000 experience for craft essences. Ooh, that's pretty good actually. Let's talk about the command codes real quick before I talk about what a lottery actually is. Linchpin of Heaven, God Binding Chains, and Lady of the Red Jewels command seals. These are going to be the next new command codes that you're going to want to grab. Linchpin of Heaven increases damage against weak to Intima Elite enemies by 20% on the engraved card, which is fantastic. Oh my god. The God Binding Chain increases damage against divine enemies by 15%. Again, very, very good. And the last one, increasing critical damage by 10% of the engraved card. So these are all fantastic craft essences, and they're actually inside of the shop that you can only get by getting gold bars. Those gold bars you can only get in the lottery. So you farm the lottery, you grab these. They're very, very good. Like, even if you don't have a server that you think can use them right away, guarantee you're gonna want to grab these for future. They're just too good to pass up. I know FGO tips and I know Kawaii FIO had talked about the command codes that you definitely need to get, and these are ones you need to get. Since a lot of you were complaining in my video talking about what servers to level up for the event that I didn't talk about the lottery itself, to me that's not the type of video to talk about that, but I can talk about it now. Essentially, for all you newcomers, what a lottery event is that you will have here this lovely picture of Sheba over here and all the lovely materials to her right. In front of her, you'll have a button pressing 1, which will cost 2 of the lottery tickets here, as you can see from here, and 10 that will cost 20 of these. And you will essentially spin until you get these random materials over here. And that can be mana prisms, that can be silver flows, actually all of these here. You have a chance to get all of these here for the first 10 boxes. And that is why this is very good, because you can farm this forever. There is no stopping the farm. You can keep getting all of these things. The only things you won't get will be the golden apples and the silver apples. You will still get bronze apples, but you will not get the gold and silver after the 10 boxes. You will just get bronze, but still you get everything else, which is very, very good. So that is why this is amazing and why this is something you need to farm for. The jackpot, as you can see here, the grand prize for the first 5 boxes will be that Nero craft essence I said earlier, but the grand prize is going to be RNG. It's going to be 300 items in there, and let's say you get the grand prize early. Do you stop? It will give you the option right away. Hey, do you want to reset? You have the grand prize, so you do not need to keep rolling in this if you don't want to. I'm going to actually ask you to please don't do that. If it asks you to go to the next box, keep rolling until there's literally nothing in the box left. The reason is because yes, you will get that craft essence, and yes, you can roll for the next craft essence, or the crystallized lore, or the golden foliage you see down there. But it is very imperative that you get everything that the box offers, because a lottery event, an event like this, giving all these materials that we desperately need. You desperately need all the skill gems. You desperately need QP, mana prisms to get things from the mana prism shop, and snake eye jewels, homunculus babies, hero proof, and void dust and hero proof, which are needed in a large amount later on. And you just get them here on top of the experience cards, top of the friend points, like the QP. Like, I've seriously been in a position to where I farmed so much. I have 400 million QP. That is how much QP I had because I farmed that much. Granted, when you're trying to fully level up a servant all the way to level 100 and 10 them, that can go really quickly. But still, 400 million QP is a lot. Again, people like Toho Sniper, who I always talk about in my videos because he is a fantastic individual, but he advocates farming this as much as you can, and I'm more than likely expecting a video of his to come out explaining it, and when it does, I'll definitely tweet it out. But still, it's very important that you farm this event. Get all this stuff, because the next time we have a lottery event, which will be Christmas 3 rerun, it's going to be limited. They're probably going to stop at around the 10th box, and then we're going to have another lottery event back then, but that's in December. That's 3 to 4 months from now. This can set you up fairly nicely to where you won't need to farm as aggressively, and this game is predominantly farming, so that's why this is so important. Again, I actually go over a little bit of servants that you can level up that will help you make this farming easier, because you will definitely need that. Definitely check that video out. I have timestamps for certain situations in case you want to know some specific things, but if you want to know just what's really in the shop, aside from these items, I don't really think you should, but just in case, if you are concerned about it, they do have giant rings. Obviously, the gold foes are going to be good. If you need the lamps, if you need reverse dragon scales, they're there. Pots, they're there. Pots of grease. The feathers, which, you know, a lot of people need feathers, and stingers as well are in there. And finally, bullets, knight metals. Those are things I know people need as well. Those are items that people need in excess. So I still think you should farm lottery first, but if there are things in the shop that you absolutely positively need, definitely go through that. We'll do our best to try and cover what exactly we need for this event in a guide later in the month. Please be on the lookout for that, and hopefully you enjoy it. And that looks like it's going to be it for the month of September. Now, if this happens a little bit earlier, there is a very good chance that the Halloween 3 rerun will happen probably at the end of September. So be on the lookout for this. And the biggest thing to worry about here is that this will be your last chance to get Mecha Elichan Mark 1 or Mark 2. So the pink one or the vastly superior left silver one. It depends on which one that you want, but this is your last chance to get it. It is also a 100 mission style event, and it's also your last chance to get Aerial Drive, which is a 50% starting MP craft essence. Once you max limit break it, that increases Buster performance, which is very good and something that most people would like and enjoy. So this is going to be a very good event if you want to grab this. This is a free alter ego, so that's very good to have if you don't have an alter ego by now. And we actually have a video going over a little bit of the basics. We will be making another video later talking about all the new things they add, as well as a refresher for people who had getting a chance to see the video last time. But for the most part, that's about the only discrepancy I see. But again, that's going to be about it for the month of September and this episode of Clairvoyance EX. Now, I pass the question off to you. What are you guys excited for this month? So now I pass the question off to you. What are you most excited for the month of September? Are you perhaps preparing for GILFEST on the side, or is your current focus the Phase Zero event that's happening right now? Either way, I would love to see what you guys have to say down in the comments. Let me know, and if you can, definitely like this video if you really enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more, because apparently about half of you haven't subscribed, and I would love to see you subscribe so we can get even higher. And then last thing I want to mention is we recently just passed the 20K subscription milestone on the channel. Personally, I want to say thank you. 3 years, we've gone from a little under 1,000 to 20,000 subscribers. I really appreciate all the support, and we here at the Chaldea Gurus will not only continue to put out guides, to put out news updates, but continue our Guruverse skits for all you guys interested. And we really thank you for your support, and hopefully we'll continue going down this path until the end comes. But for now, my name is Musaki from the Chaldea Gurus, and we are logging out. See ya.